The following content is supported by victoris.org.
Yeah. So usually websites will require other technologies, like you need to create a web server, stuff like that. Usually use HTML, but this website allows us to create websites with nothing but drag and drop plus Python. So yeah, it's quite good in that sense. So with just the knowledge we have so far, right, it's enough to learn how to build a website already. And you can actually yeah. Okay, then follow these instructions. I'm gonna okay, so let's direct your attention here. So Anvil.works. So go to this website, create account, click start building on the top right corner. On the top right corner, do you see it? Top right corner.
Sign in.
Sign in already?
Yeah.
Okay, then now sign out with Google and click new blank app.
App. Okay.
Okay, then now click material design tree.
Okay.
And now you see a dashboard like that, right? Roughly. After it loads.
Yeah.
After it loads. I'm doing it in parallel also. Okay, so now rename the project. Click on this this part over here.
Okay.
And rename it to counter app.
I thought we were doing website.
Yeah. Counter website / app. Web app. It's the same thing. Okay, rename already.
Okay.
Then now you can add a title. So meaning you see the video. So follow along the video. Okay. So you see the components on the right hand side, right? You drag and drop the rich text over to the title area here. Okay. And then now you see the panel appear on the properties tab, right? Under content, you can write whatever. My awesome counter app. Okay. And now if you want to plug your social media or whatever, you can go add new component. You can drop a link. In this case is this one over here. Then your link, it can be, you put a URL over here. Let's say I'll be able to go to my website, right? So I go www.labs.net. And now when you're done with that, right, you press the text over here, my website. So you can change the text and press run. Do you see something? Do you see something like that? You click run. So I see it like that. Now you see this link over here. If I click on my link, it will appear. And yeah. Okay. Okay. So now let's add a button, or let's add a display for a counter first. So you see this one over here, the one that says label. You bring a label over to the main part, drop one there.
Label. Okay.
Then under the text part, right, write value :0 like that. Okay, so the video is just doing that. And then now you see the name over here. You change it to label _display. Like that. Label _display.
The what?
The name. You see this name over here under the properties. Do you see that?
Okay.
Yeah. Press enter. Okay. Once you're done, now let's add. So this is what we display. Okay. Now let's add a button to change that value. So you see a button over here, the one in blue. Drag and drop it over. Then we change this from button 1 to button _increase. And the text can be increase counter, right? Something descriptive for the user to know what our button does.
What is increase counter?
remember the counter app is something that when people walk into a mall, I want to count the number of people. So every time I click the button, the value will go up by 1.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have the layout. This all we need, right? We need the display and the button. Now we want to add code to drive the logic, right? So okay, so there's 2 panels: design, where we drag and drop the stuff, and code, where you type the code. And go over to design, right? Click on the button. Now scroll all the way down to this events part. Then under click, right, you see this blue double right arrow? Are you lost? Click on the button, right? Scroll all the way down and click on this events part. Click. Then you see that it jumps over to the code panel. In the code panel, we have this new highlighted part. Okay? And then now type the following code in lines 11. So 1 over here, I want to write self.counter equals to 0. And under the button increase click, right? Under the button increase click, do these 2 lines of code. If you're confused, I can go over there and...
Yeah, I think, okay, can.
Okay, I'll explain a bit the code later on.
Okay.
For now, I just want you to see the output. Then I can easier to explain what's going on. Okay, when you're ready, press run, and that's our counter app. Okay, so you try press increase counter. With luck, it might work the first try.
Yeah.
Works, right? Okay, so every time I press increase counter, this value goes up by 1. So how does it work? Okay, so how does it work, right? Okay, maybe I refer your attention to your screen over here. So we have 3 lines of code that we added, right? Self.counter is 0. So this line inside this is actually called a function, but more on that in the 3rd lesson. This line would run when the app first starts, okay, which creates a variable called self.counter. Ignore the self dot lah. It's basically a variable called counter. So this variable name equals to value 0. Then whenever the button is clicked, these 2 lines of code will run. Okay, so whenever the button is clicked, what is it doing? It's setting self.counter equals to self.counter plus 1. Which what does it do? Increases the value of self.counter by 1. And then basically the next line is printing out to the screen. Just that instead of typing print self.counter, I'm saying the display that I had over here, right? This display, I want to change its text to this formatted string. What does the formatted string say? Value colon, and then the curly brackets, which prints which gives out the value of this variable inside.
So you cannot just change the value of the whatever is in there. You have to change the whole entire.
So you're saying I cannot just change the value of this self.counter.
Yeah, like the value that is displayed, like the digit itself, you have to type in the value colon also.
Yeah, you have to type in the value colon. Yeah, because it replaces the entire this part. If I didn't have this, right, let's say I had this, I deleted it, then what it will be like is when it first starts up, it will be value colon 0.
Then he will replace with 1.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then is it possible to separate the value and
Yes.
the word value and then the...
Yeah, it's entirely possible. So if I want to do that, then what I can do is I can add a new component. Good that you asked that. I can add a new display, add it to the over here. And maybe this display, I say value colon, and then this one I just want to become 0, right? Then now with the same code, right, just self.counter only, but I added another text that says value. This one doesn't change at all, right? So now like that, value increase counter, yeah. So this is purely decorative. This value over here is purely decorative. Okay. So with that, we just created our first somewhat useful app with just 3 lines of code. Yeah. Can understand? Okay. Then you want to move on to the BMI calculator.
Okay, can.
Okay. So one thing before you close it, if you press run, if you like, right, you can click publish this app. Then over here you can you can share via public link, and then you can put your, let's say my TCH counter app this alias is available. Then now I click OK. Then now I can send this link to my friend, tch counter app dot anvil dot what is it anvil dot anvil dot app. And now whoever, I cannot, tch counter app. Now whoever visits my website, they can play with my app. Yeah, so you can easily share your games or something like that with other people. And this published on the web, so anyone in the world can see it now. Yeah. Okay.